The shifting political landscape in Syria, following the fall of President Bashar al-Assad, has presented new opportunities for global players, particularly Ukraine, which is keen to strengthen its foothold in the Middle East. However, the situation is far from straightforward, as the emerging leadership under Ahmed al-Sharaa, the leader of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, faces its own challenges in navigating Syria's fractured political environment. While Ukraine has made an early move to engage with the new Syrian leadership, Russia's cautious approach reveals the complexities of the situation and the power dynamics at play. Moscow's hesitancy underscores its wariness of Syria's political uncertainty. As Ukraine battles Russian forces on its home front, its diplomacy has extended beyond its immediate neighbors and Western allies to the broader Middle East. Kyiv, under President Volodymyr Zelensky, has made clear its interest in establishing ties with Syria's new leadership. Ukraine recently sent a shipment of 500 metric tons of wheat flour to Syria as part of its Grain from Ukraine initiative. This move signals a shift in Kyiv's diplomatic posture, positioning itself as a partner to the new Syrian leadership, despite Syria's traditional alignment with Moscow. The humanitarian aid, aimed at strengthening Ukraine's diplomatic presence in the region, highlights its strategy to assert itself as a reliable ally to Syria as the country rebuilds after Assad's ouster. Ahmed al-Sharaa also held talks on Monday with a senior Ukrainian delegation, led by Foreign Minister Andrii Sybiha. These discussions underscored Ukraine's strategic outreach to strengthen its presence in the Middle East and foster ties with Syria's new leadership. Russia, in contrast, has adopted a cautious approach. Despite its historical involvement in Syria, Moscow has yet to formally engage with al-Sharaa's government. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov stated that Moscow is waiting for the formation of a more stable and recognized government before re-engaging fully.
I hope that we will be able to resume work with the new Syrian leaders when the new structure of power is finally established on issues of economic and investment cooperation, where we have already achieved certain results in the past years. The framework for the election campaign has yet to be agreed upon. All leading countries emphasize the need to do this, so that the process is inclusive, so that all political and ethno-confessional groups of the Syrian people can participate in the campaign and the elections. I repeat once again that this is not an easy process, but we are ready to assist it, including within the UN Security Council and the Astana format.
This hesitation reflects the uncertainty surrounding al-Sharaa's leadership. While currently the dominant figure, al-Sharaa has not declared his government permanent and has acknowledged that elections may be postponed for at least 4 years. He has also openly supported Russia to maintain the military presence in Syria.
There are deep strategic interests between Syria and Russia. All Syrian weapons are Russian, and many of the power stations have Russian expertise as well. There are also great cultural ties between Syria and Russia. We do not want Russia to leave Syria in the way that some people like.
Al-Sharaa's remarks emphasize that Syria's political transition will take years, with constitutional reforms and political dialogue being gradual processes. His commitment to dissolving HTS after the transition further underscores the temporary nature of his role.
Drafting a new constitution or constitutional amendment needs a long time, needs experts. It may take 2 years, 2 or 3 years, God knows.
2 or 3 years?
Yes.
For amendment of the Constitution? To write a new Constitution?
Yes, to write a new constitution, yes. Because there are many details that must be discussed within this constitution. Because today, we are re-establishing the state and not rerunning the affairs of the state as they were in the past.
Are you going to dissolve Hayat Tahrir al-Sham?
For sure, it is not appropriate for the state to be run with the mentality of groups and factions. Since we were in Idlib, we have been prepared for this, psychologically and morally, but there was no appropriate opportunity. The opportunity to run the state is the greatest opportunity to dissolve Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, and we are the first people to dissolve Hayat Tahrir al-Sham.
Russia's reluctance is also tied to its strategic interests in Syria. Vladimir Putin has indicated that Russia's military bases, a cornerstone of its regional influence, will remain, but their future depends on the policies of Syria's new government. While Moscow maintains its military presence, it is treading carefully, aware of the complex dynamics and the transitional nature of al-Sharaa's leadership. Putin has emphasized the need to align Russia's interests with the evolving political realities in Syria.
We maintain relations with all the groups that control the situation there, with all the countries in the region. The overwhelming majority of them tell us that they would be interested in our military bases remaining in Syria. I don't know. We have to think about it, because we have to decide for ourselves how our relations will develop with those political forces that are currently in control and will control the situation in this country in the future, and our interests must coincide.
As Syria's political future remains uncertain, the balance of power in the Middle East is shifting. Ukraine's proactive diplomacy reflects a broader trend of realignment, with Kyiv seeking to position itself as a key player in the region. For now, Ukraine appears to be capitalizing on Russia's hesitation, presenting itself as a potential partner to Syria's new leadership. However, Russia's deep-rooted ties to Syria and its strategic interests ensure that Moscow will not be easily sidelined.